Previously in X-Men, one word, sleazoids. The X-Men have been captured by the alien race known as the Brood, who have implanted their eggs in the unsuspecting host bodies of the X-Men themselves. Wolverine has been on the run fighting off the transformation, but what will become of the rest of the team? I am Jason Lapidus.
I am Chris Sanagan.
And we are Group of 7 Comics. Welcome to episode 78 of our ongoing Tuesday night live stream read-through of the X-Men comics that became classic as we read Uncanny X-Men 163 by Claremont, Cockrum, and Wiacek. Cover date of November 1982. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I can sum up how I feel in one word.
Do I know that
Sleazoids!
I really enjoyed it last week how many times Wolverine used the phrase sleazoids to describe the Brood, who are a insectoid like alien race, very reminiscent of the aliens in Alien, which is called a whatamorph. What's that?
Xenomorph.
A xenomorph. Thank you. Yeah, they're very, very derivative of that, but they seem to have more like the mosquito wings kind of thing and claws. So they fly around and
stingers. Kind of like, yeah.
But they speak and they have implanted their eggs in everyone. But there's a really interesting other component which I love to add to this sort of nightmare and the like body horror. Is that you don't know that you're in the situation you're in. Like they have the ability in this last story where we don't know what reality is. The X-Men don't know what reality is. They're not sure if they're living out some sort of fantasy. Wolverine's able to fight through it and realize he's on the run from a sort of battalion or a hunter unit. Yeah, hunting party. Thank you. Of these the Brood, and he keeps calling them sleazoids, and it feels like just such a funny dated kind of reference, Yeah. Anyway, so you've got your Wolverine there.
I've got my movie here.
I want to show this is from the Marvel Legends Retro 3.75 inch series, which is just recently come to been put to rest. Where's yours? Show your Wolverine, and I'll show mine. Here's mine. So two different uniforms or costumes, I should say. They are not uniforms because not everyone wears the one form. Yeah, man. There you go. Beautiful.
Sleazoid.
So at the end of the last issue, we see Wolverine is like mid-transformation into a Brood. He fights off the transformation, but there are sort of like scars or like a consequence of having to go through this, where his skin looks a little bit like a crocodile, or
almost
killer
if he had like
has
chicken pox or some kind of pox or something, where he's actually healthy, except it's left a physical
right
body.
Well, I'm looking forward to reading this issue. I have not read what is known as the Brood Saga. I didn't know there was going to be a Brood Saga. But it has been collected into some trade paperbacks that are titled the Brood Saga. And it's something that you and I both just didn't come across as younger guys. I'm going to be reading those issues and today's issue within Essential X-Men Volume 4, which I'm really, really excited about. I love this volume so far, and I have a hunch what's coming. Mm-hmm. I have not read the rest of the issues within this volume, so that's sort of, I like the breaking new ground. I know where it's going to go after all of this, but I haven't read these issues yet. What about you? How are you reading this?
I'm reading this through the magic of DVD-ROM. Strap in your time machine, kids. We're going back to 2007.
Yeah, man, it's very cool. And you and I are coming off of a busy weekend hanging out together at the Toronto Comic Arts Festival. We had some good times down at the old reference library there at that free event. And
certainly did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was able to get a few comics here or there. Definitely, now that like looking back on it in hindsight, we probably should have just done like an hour on, an hour off each, and just perused the festival and maybe see more people. Yeah, I didn't even leave the room we were in. I feel bad.
What was the first time we were in
Cheers.
that room? The salon, as it's known, on the second floor.
Yeah, I just have a habit at these kinds of events of having tunnel vision and really wanted to stay at that table and sort of make the most out of it in some way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it makes any difference sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway. I mean, yeah.
The cover of our today's issue. I should pull this up, actually. Pull it up over here. Add this to the stream. This is the cover. I think it's one of the better ones, actually, from Cockrum, in that it's just a very focused thing. This is a pretty adult-looking Kitty Pryde.
They still can't figure out if she's 12 or 18.
Well, I think she's supposed to be about 16 at this point, but still like objectified, the damsel in distress kind of thing, even though maybe that's not a fair representation of what's happening in this moment. A couple things I want to note about the cover that I think are really great. It sounds so crazy, but the use of straight lines in the tech gives us a very clear sense of the shape and scope of things, which are not that big, but that's appropriate for this moment.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see not all rounded edges and curves from Cockrum on his choices. So like the organic thing has all the curves, and then the mechanical thing is much more rigid, which is a great contrast. Secondly, I want to note the contrast between the color schemes, like those warm colors are in the front, the cool colors are in the back. It really makes the depth of field work. It like separates those two things at a first glance. And the third thing stood out to me was like Kitty's hand in this bit of a weird read of like how her hand is back, but it's like on a yellow pad, and that it's such a intentional choice. So if that's not meaningful to the story, then that's really weird to put on the cover. If it is meaningful to the story, then that makes sense. But having the yellow against that purple, the yellow pops, her hand on top of the yellow pops. So it better be part of the story. Otherwise, this is a weird misdirect. But man, that bug brood thing looks cool.
It does. This is a really great cover. Feels very claustrophobic. You get a sense of the fear. Yeah. It's solid cover.
I agree. And then what does our good friend Mike Mignola do 10 years later? Are you ready for this?
I'm sure it can't be any good.
I mean, come on. We won't be. I might not get the right image here. Uh-oh. I have a hunch it's going to be bad. It's the wrong image. This is a page from Scott. That's for me. I'm doing some drawing of Austin. It didn't. Where is it? Sorry, man.
That's okay.
I had it here and it was in my full view. Is it so silly? There you go. You can see that?
Nope.
What? I'm having trouble. I thought you'd be able to see this.
See? Oh, nope. There's a light now on your face.
Oh, this is I'm struggling with something here. Let me try one more time here. It is giving me a struggle. It's in preview. I'm in the right app. Exit full screen. Okay, we'll just do it this way then. Usually it gives me the option to share certain things on my screen, and this one, there it is. Okay.
Now we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what Mignola comes up with. And holy smokes. This is what we were describing before about Wolverine's condition that he's in. It's awesome. Like he's just got these sort of lines as if his skin is sort of dried out and has kind of like a crocodile or alligator stomach. And the monster behind him, like the alien queen coming up behind Ripley.
Yeah, I know. After he's just like ripped the chest out of this other one in front of it, right?
Yeah, so he looks like he's the predator, but of course he's the prey, which is really, really awesome. And then again, the coloring job. Get those warms, like that gross green, brownish thing, which is like the blood of the little one, and then Wolverine and also warm colors, and then that cool green behind and that cool blue behind.
Yeah.
So, really creates, again, the depth of field.
The lighting is great on this.
It is incredible. Mignola is such a monster. I said that on purpose. To me, my ex-friend, says Jason Lowe. How are you, Jason?
Hey, Jason.
Did you miss the Leafs talk? No, there wasn't any. The Leafs did not win tonight, which is totally fine. It is just the beginning of a new series, and it doesn't feel that stressful for them to lose a game the way it does, when you haven't won a series for
Say when they lost game 1 of the previous round.
Yeah, all good. Anyway, really cool to see this Mignola cover. If we ever come across one, we probably are going to have to buy them, aren't we, Chris?
I think so. I might have to do that this weekend. It's Free Comic Book Day on Saturday, and my local The Dragon is opening up its back issue room, massive room. So now that I know that Mignola does all these covers on classic X-Men, I might have to.
But you did go through that bin once before on my behalf.
I did. Yes, I did. But you had some of them already. I didn't. So.
But you pulled out issues that are still ahead of where we're at. Oh, no, some issues back, but you would have seen the Mignola ones if you were going through that, wouldn't you?
I think so.
So I'm thinking there aren't any.
I don't know.
I imagine they've been picked over because
I'm sure
Mignola. Yeah. Well, Jason Lowe, I hope you're good. I hope you had a successful time at the Toronto Comic Arts Festival at your table. It was good to see you most of the weekend too. All right.
And that you've recovered, because it's a long weekend.
It is a long weekend. All right, I'm going to solo view this thing. Full screen it.
Full screen.
Here we go, Chris. I think are we going to go back to our traditional reading style, even though it's going to favor a little bit of Wolverine, but there's a lot of other stuff to read.
I think we can go back to that.
And this issue has some really crazy ties to the MCU.
Really?
Well, yeah, because Carol Danvers, as you open the first page here, is front and center.
It's true.
And other than Mr. Dodgers with his cool poncho, Carol is front and center, and this is a major part of her rejuvenation as a character that Claremont is sort of reclaiming her, and putting her through this interesting situation.
And who
Jason says
is going through a Brood related comic series right now, right? Jason says,
"Yeah, it was great seeing you guys there too. I hope you had an amazing show. Still recovering. Yeah, me too. You can hear in my voice. It's usually half of what it usually would be." Rescue Mission, a Stan Lee presentation starring the Uncanny X-Men.
That's a return, eh? We haven't seen that in a while.
Yes. She shrieks, she howls, she sobs, but the torment never ends.
Our subject, whose personal identification as Carol Danvers, is a bipedal hominid female, level 2 on the standard evolutionary scale. Her companions, the X-Men, are mutants, genetic deviants from their racial norm, endowed with extraordinary physical and mental abilities. That is why we of the Brood acquired them as hosts formed for the progeny of our great mother. During the final metamorphosis, each hatchling will absorb the powers and genetic potential of its host. However, this creature is an anomaly, neither mutant nor baseline human. Her DNA matrix is unique.
One thing of note, Joe Rosen is on as letterer in this issue instead of Tom Orzechowski. Orzechowski is probably one of the unifying pieces of almost all the X-Men comics we read. He has a huge impact on the look of X-Men and creating a unifying look to the X-Men stuff just through the lettering. And he was so adept at taking, lowering his font size enough to fit Claremont's verbiage in. Mm-hmm. And Joe Rosen, is still developing that and is not up to the task as supremely as Orzechowski. So there'll be some word balloons or narration boxes that things don't seem to exactly fit.
Right.
And so he's not as smooth at it as Orzechowski, who's not on this issue.
Yeah.
I really like this next panel. I think it looks amazing.
It does look great.
Just like the fact that her wrists, there's no line around it. There's no holding line to show the power is sort of handcuffed her, but it's really obvious from it. It doesn't need a holding line. It just works really well.
Nice. And it's like super cosmic, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Do you want me to be this Brood?
Sure.
Okay. At the moment, to help determine the full ramifications of our findings, we are subjecting her to evolutionary modification. Her physical form we can alter at will. What has proven most fascinating is her psychic resistance. Though she is experiencing supposedly unendurable pain, she remains aware of all that transpires. That's gross.
That's super gross.
Okay, you're up.
All right.
She remains sane and defiant to an extent I would have not believed possible. Dizilos.
I was going to say something else.
Dizilos provides some refreshment for our guests.
At once, scholar.
It's taken me the better part of a day and a night to reach the Sleazoid city. The first familiar scent I tag is Carol's. She's in a lab complex. I remember her being carried off by a couple of brood scientists for an examination. I'm not sure which would be worse, finding her dead or alive. We can see the silhouette in the background there.
Yeah.
That's our one and only favorite Canadian mutant. I follow the techno. I figure he'll be my ticket to the into the lab. You see here how like those words aren't exactly fitting in. It's like really tight around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is also like the way that he is collecting refreshments, or the brood is collecting it. It looks like brood. The thing is like humming to itself, like do do do. Like get the refreshments, gonna bring it back to scholar.
The Illuminators, they've gone out. What is happening? Who is there?
For what it's worth, bub, the name's Wolverine.
That's a great panel, by the way.
Agreed.
The claw, the snick, and then just the alien in the background. That's great.
I think I would have preferred if that's where he makes his entrance, like not the panel before.
Oh, right.
At least maybe not the words. Like have him there in silhouette.
Yeah,
don't say anything. Like this is maybe where Claremont feels the need to overwrite. Like Cockrum set him up with something, and he's got to fill it with talking. But it didn't need anything. Anyway, the sucker fights for all the good that does him.
So, has he thrown him through a window or something?
Yeah, I think he sort of like throws him into the space where everyone else is, like into the lab.
Yeah.
It's not exactly clear.
No,
I think that's what's happening. That's how I'm reading it. Evening, gents.
The X-Men, Wolverine. He is a renegade. Slay him.
Bub, I was hoping you'd say that. Poor Wolverine looks so sore. He needs some skin cream or something.
But these are the moments that I love this character, because he's just, he's nothing else, but he's just him in a room full of bad guys.
True.
Right. Captain America in the elevator,
Right. And you see like these boxes on the sides. It looks really, really full.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just too much. My claws are pure adamantium, the strongest metal known, razor keen, retractable into my forearms. My skeleton's laced with the same stuff, making my bones virtually unbreakable. What classes me as a mutant, though, is my body's natural ability to heal any wound, cure any disease. Extensions of that basic talent give me fantastically keen senses and abilities. I'm fast, strong, agile, hell on wheels. Definite assets in my line of work. They use the hell on wheels expression in the limited series too.
Yeah.
I say they. I should say Claremont.
And I mean, look at that. He's got the brood splatter on his face.
Yeah, man. Brood splooge. Okay. Technically, I'm a superhero, one of the good guys. Before that, I was an agent, Canadian Secret Service. Before that, a commando. Now, that's the first we're hearing of that, correct?
Yes. We've heard Canadian Secret Service many times, but not before that.
So it's neat how like they just added a whole other thing before. And this fits obviously with what we believe since. Like, we think of him as being a commando, even though they didn't exactly have commandos in the Canadian. Well, I guess in World War II, he could have been.
They did, but that really comes out of the Second World War.
Right. But they come
Unless
out
you
like
read a book
British,
called
right?
7, A Most Secret Tale, which are full of commandos.
Right, but the word commando and like the commando style training, we see forming in World War II.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if the Canadians do anything like that. I mean, in your
the
imagination,
Devil's Brigade, which is like Canadian American unit, which
right,
they are trained in a way that they are commando unit. Yeah, and
I agree with you that.
Yeah,
I agree, but what I'm saying is, at the time, were they thought of as commando, or is that a hindsight?
Oh, I think they were probably just thought of something special, right? Like,
right.
Just kind of extra training, specific training.
Right.
So
I'm interested if when he is referring to himself as a commando, is he thinking about World War II? In my head and in like the different references I've seen, he's always been kind of like a Marine.
Yeah.
Or airborne ranger, like someone, on the front lines of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, neat to see. And I love that like that piece just got added. Very cool. Okay. Before that, a commando. By birth, training, choice, I'm a warrior. The best there is, as this crowd quickly learns. I hear a moan. Carol. We go back a ways, she and I. We worked together a lot when she was part of U.S. Air Force intelligence. She's a friend. When the Russian KGB captured her, I was one of the team that disobeyed orders and pulled her out. She was a lovely lady, skin and soul. That's weird.
It's very strange.
Now she's barely recognizable as a human being. Again, look how small like that caption is, just like real tight around those words.
Real tight.
But I do like this abstract coloring choice. It doesn't make any sense to go orange background, blue Wolverine, but it completely works.
Looks good.
It does. It really does work. And it just makes the page overall more interesting. And of course, in the version I'm reading, it doesn't have that. There's no color here. So I didn't know that was going to happen. That's very cool. Her features flow like hot wax shaped by some sicko sculptor's hands, shifting without rhyme or reason. Obviously, the sleazoid gizmo is responsible. Problem is, how to shut the sucker down. Look at those little knobs he's got to touch. Little, like, nodules.
They're probably, like, goopy, too, right?
Yeah, gross. Should I even try? There's no guarantee she'll revert to human. Maybe it'd be better to put her out of her misery. First Carol, then the X-Men. I can't make head nor tail out of the controls, so I decided to leave well enough alone. Feel that'll only make things worse. Instead, I cross my fingers and wreck everything in sight. Simple, effective, like me. I'm luckier than I deserve. I hope Carol feels the same.
I just go berserk.
Yep.
There we go.
I wreck everything. I lose it. Easy, darling. You've had a rough ride, but I think you're going to be okay.
Fire burning within me, so bright, so beautiful. Logan, help me.
I don't know how. I've been lying, of course. Carol isn't all right. She knows it. She looks normal, but appearance don't matter beans. Okay.
Beans.
Her scent's no longer human. That scares us both. But we're professionals with a job to do, so we cope as best we can.
That's twice I owe you my life, Logan.
Who's counting? We gotta roll, Carol, before someone notices our little fracas.
Fine with me. Strange. After all the sleazoids put me through, you'd think I'd be weak, physically shot to pieces. But I feel better than I have in ages, literally bursting with energy.
Let's hope it lasts, darling, because we'll sure need it before we're through.
Logan, you think we have a chance?
Does it matter?
No, I suppose not. Here's those weird guns.
Yeah, just again, like those organic shapes, So be it. Meanwhile, back on Earth on the most boring looking construction site I've ever seen, because that's totally not how construction sites look. But it's cool. There's these little drones flying around. Can you see them?
These are weird.
Little sort of two-armed drones doing a lot of work. Back on Earth on a sprawling estate some 40 miles from New York City, a mansion is being rebuilt. Until recently, it housed Professor Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters and served as home and secret headquarters of the X-Men. The silent sparkle of a transporter heralds the arrival of two figures on the lawn. They're expected.
Alex, Corsair.
Hi, Lorna. And hi, David Cutler. Hey, guys.
AKA
Hey,
Lorna.
guys. They're building a jungle gym, clearly. How you doing, man? Hope you're well. The young woman is Lorna Dane. The young man, Alex Summers. Mutants, lovers, part-time X-Men. The other man is Alex's father, Christopher Summers, former Major, U.S. Air Force. Now, as Corsair, he leads a band of interstellar freebooters, the Starjammers.
What's the news?
Lousy. The X-Men and Empress Lilandra have been captured. Oh my god, here comes a rant. Lilandra's sister, Deathbird, is making a bid to seize the Shi'ar throne. That whole galactic empire is coming apart at the seams, as everyone chooses sides. Evidently, Deathbird allied herself with a race of aliens from beyond known space. The Brood. The price of their aid was the X-Men's lives. Deathbird delivered, and the Brood immediately took them to their homeworld. Wherever the blazes that is, heaven only knows their fate. My brother, my friends, they could be dead or worse. There's not a blessed thing I can do to help them. Wild. Yeah, I love the forced recaps. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. An energy bolt. Are we under attack?
Corsair reacts automatically with the speed of thought, using the phasing jewels on his gloves to summon his hand weapons.
His hand weapons. It's some kind of land cow.
In a split second, he's ready for action. Sorry, Dad. My fault. False alarm.
I understand, son. We all need to blow off some steam. So he waves his hands and his guns appear?
He touches the jewels on the side. Like, think about it this way.
Okay.
It's Peter Quill. And he touches his ear and his mask forms over his head.
Gotcha.
Like it's the same guy.
It is Peter Quill. That's a good point.
He's just got that headband.
Can't wait to see Peter Quill in his new movie and Corsair in his new movie this weekend.
Yeah, I'm wondering when I'm going to see it. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, I'm going to do a lot of crying, I think.
It's okay.
Not connected to the movie in any way, just some random crying.
Yeah.
You seem to be a mite nervous, Major.
Better nervous than dead, Dr. McTaggart.
Good point. Might I ask your plans?
My son has been kidnapped. I intend to rescue him or avenge him.
Alex will want to go with you.
I won't let him. Much as I'd like him by my side, if anything has happened to Scott or happens to me, at least Alex will be safe. Also, this will be a killing mission, and I'm used to that. Alex isn't. I don't want him to learn. As a good parent, my kids have never learned. Never. We'll be warping out of orbit as soon as I beam up, and I wanted to say goodbye to you and Professor Xavier.
Charles isn't here. He's taken this very hard, Chris. I don't know. How do you say Chris with a... Okay.
Chris.
Not
Chris.
so much that the X-Men are in danger, but that for all his power, he was and is unable to do anything about it.
He's a strong man, Moira. He'll recover.
He lost the woman he loves and his beloved X-Men, his family. He's alone, Chris. Aye, he's strong. But even the strongest back has its breaking point. I fear for Charlie. This may be it. Farewell, Corsair. Good luck. I also love how reactionary this is to Star Trek, like the warp and beam up. Like it's such a huge cultural touchstone.
Totally.
Totally.
And look at her wee bum. And that drawing, like her waist and her,
Chris, stop
her
looking
little-
at the wee bum, Chris.
her little wee bum. It's a tiny little bum in that drawing. I don't think I can wait any longer. Actually, I got to show you something. Speaking of wee bums,
okay, sure. Speaking
gotta-
of, okay, show me.
I got to interrupt the show because what?
Well, you got to interrupt the show. It's a show.
I got it. It's important, Chris. I got to
Chris.
show you this.
That's right. Corsair.
There he is in all his glory with his his weird organic gun.
Also, so weird. It looks
But
good,
he
though.
doesn't
Color-
have.
color looks good.
Oh no, he's fantastic. Actually, there's the clear.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic sculpt. Everything is great about him. He doesn't have those jewels on his hands, his gloves.
Yeah.
I can add those if I really want to. And then his headband is red.
You
In the comic, it's blue.
know who I keep thinking of is like a great, you said, Peter Quill, Star-Lord. But also, as I said, we talked the weekend, and my son, my 12-year-old, is now going through the Futurama episode. So Zap Brannigan. That's right. Kiff. Hello,
Oh
lady.
yes,
Zap Brannigan.
Zap Brannigan was like the part Phil Hartman was born to play. It's so sad that he wasn't able to do it, but it's definitely one of the highlights of the show for sure. So Jason says, "No way! Where'd you get yours?" Pre-ordered at GameStop, and it arrived I think yesterday or the day before.
It looks good.
And so I made a little bit of money on the weekend with my friend Chris Sanagan. So I spent a little bit of money and went over to GameStop, picked up some figures.
Monies.
And David says he has most of the rest of the wave. I do not think I'm building Chode, so I'm probably going to have those parts if anyone needs them.
Chode parts.
I got Chode parts.
Actually,
Unless I decide to, I don't know. I don't really want to collect Chode parts. But anyway, moving on.
You gotta build you gotta collect Rintra parts. Now you have like 3 of them.
Yes, but I only have to collect the Rintra parts just to sell the Rintra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I got to open up this comic book again. I closed it by accident. Oops. Anyway, really, really great figure. Like excellent paints, and the sculpt is great. And I'm really glad I got it. Especially because it's fun for this episode.
Mhm.
Jason Lowe, give me Chode. You're going to get us kicked off of YouTube, Jason. All right. A galaxy away, Scott Summers, Alex's older brother, runs for his life.
A brood hunting
Wanna read-
contract. Oh,
Okay.
but that's impossible. Isn't it? What is this place? Not the Earth, that's for sure. Where the devil am I? So hard to remember, and none of those memories make any sense. The brood isn't giving me a chance to sort things out either. Each time my optic blasts KO one of them, another hunter pops up to take his place. I hope the rest of the X-Men are all right. If they're in the same fix,
Scott, Cyclops, over here.
In a minute, Storm. As soon as I've taken care of business.
We got to mention, speaking of taking care of business,
Hmm.
founding member of Bachman Turner Overdrive, the other Bachman, passed away yesterday or on the weekend.
I heard that.
Yeah, there you go. Taking care of business.
Taking care of business.
In heaven.
Get to the chorus.
Notice the the organic shapes for the panel borders.
Yep.
Which is like a connection to the last issue where we saw these being used by the team as well to denote something important.
Mm-hmm.
That it's in their mind.
Whoa.
He turns toward his friends and teammates, only to have his greeting become a strangled cry of horror and denial. Welcome, sister. What? We have been eagerly awaiting you.
No, I'm not a girl. What have you done with the X-Men?
My dear Cyclops, we are the X-Men.
What? No!
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, 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 pew. That's 5 separate beams at once.
Or in sequence, because you read it
Or
across. You know what I mean?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Scream denials till your lungs burst and your heart cracks, Cyclops. They will change nothing. Your fate is sealed, your metamorphosis inevitable. Look.
That reflection. It's one of the brood. It's me.
Not as you are, human, but as you will soon become. Our great mother implanted an egg within you. Even now it grows, it thrives. No power in the universe can save you.
Fangs and claws tear at him, stripping away his humanity. By the way, you can't spell humanity without manatee.
Without man.
Revealing the young queen nestling in his soul. Yes, queen. Despair sweeps through him, and when she draws him close to his doom, he does not resist, but then suddenly...
Hands. Brushing the others aside. Professor Xavier? Am I losing my mind? Am I already insane? Help me!
Such aid was given when first I trained you, Cyclops. Therein lies your salvation. The image is a phantom, he realizes. The coloring helps with that.
Mm-hmm.
All the images are phantoms, real and threatening, only so long as he allows them to be so. Xavier is the most powerful telepath on Earth. From the beginning, he trained the X-Men to resist psionic attacks. Cyclops draws on all he's learned, on courage proven on scores of battlefields, on strength he never knew he possessed, and wakes.
Oh, a dream. It was a dream. Thank heaven. Images fading so fast. Can't hold on to them. I don't really want to. The sky, so many moons. We're a long way from home. Memory tells me we're supposed to be on Lilandra's throne world. But this looks nothing like the professor's descriptions. Storm? She's in a trance. I don't want to disturb her. That could prove dangerous for both of us. But I think I'd better. I remember our being honored for rescuing Lilandra, yet our clothes are in tatters and my nightmare indicates some sort of psychic conflict. If someone is manipulating our minds.
He steps forward, then freezes, as before his disbelieving eyes energy coalesces around Aurora into the form of one of the creatures from his nightmare. The young queen smiles at him, and a bolt of lightning splits the sky. The astral image fades.
That was Storm's doing. Is she dreaming too, like I was? What does all this mean? What's been done to us? I have to wake her. Aurora.
Scott, why am I weeping? I am lost, bereft of myself, and at war with myself, without knowing why.
I wish I had more than words to offer, Aurora. Especially when those words sound hollow and meaningless. I've been scared before, but this is different. It's as if we've already beaten. That regardless of what we do or how hard we try, there's no hope. We have to find the others. Where do we go from there? Even if we escape from this citadel, how do we get off planet?
Psycho, buddy, that's the least of our problems.
Logan, Carol, Wolverine, your skin.
It ain't a pretty story, darling. And it can wait. Did you just... Oh, sorry, that was Storm, right? I was like, did he call Cyclops darling? It's all good.
That's almost appropriate. Listen,
Top priority is hauling our tails off this rock pronto.
I'm open to suggestions.
Simple. We swipe Lalandra's yacht.
It's here?
Not quite. The Sleazoid City. What city? I said the Sleazoid City. What's that? It's a city full of sleazoids. Come on, man. There's 2 issues of this. Catch up.
Get on board the Sleazoid train.
Is built into the carcass of one of their living starships. The skeleton's so flaming big, its bones reach above the breathable atmosphere. Lil's yacht is moored to the top of one of the main ribs. We reach it, we take it, we gone. The quartet goes to summon the team's other members and... See what I mean about like these letters? It's just
it's hard
so
to
tight.
read. Yeah.
Soon...
Cyclops, I am confused. Despite all you've told me, I still perceive this as Lalandra's palace. It makes me uncomfortable to speak as if we were in some enemy camp. We are in the enemy's camp, Peter. Trust me. Colossus, Kitty, and Nightcrawler still perceive illusion, not reality. That could cause problems we have to fight.
This way, Psych. Lil's scent still strong.
Thank goodness for Wolverine's tracking abilities. Without them, we'd be lost forever in this maze. But I'll never have him think that I'm actually throwing him a compliment. I hated splitting the team, but I had no alternative. When we find Lalandra, I'd set up a Storm's group to steal the yacht. I wish I knew what was bothering Wolverine. It has something to do with this weird skin pattern, but he won't talk about it.
I again, as we mentioned last time and earlier today, like the contrast of colors, like the cool greens are the environment and put them in that saturated purple, or even in the panel where they're kind of walking through the tunnel when you're just reading, they're framed by the kind of the tunnel outline.
Mm-hmm.
So things are just really clear. It's nice so far to read. You get like a muddy panel like the one with the yacht on the page before where I don't know what to make of the different colors. Like I know they're different objects, but it doesn't read clearly as what those things are. But this page is a little better, I find.
Yeah, for sure. Fascinating. These corridors don't appear to be constructed, but the result of some natural organic process. To me, they feel like normal always. And when I touch the walls, I feel metal.
I should tell Psych about the eggs. The X-Men are hosting. Sorry, I thought it was the end.
Try the eggs out in the fridge at home. I should tell Psych I forgot to take the eggs out. He's going to be real pissed.
I should tell Psych about the eggs the X-Men are hosting. But I can't. Not yet. How do I tell him the rest? That my body's healing factor destroyed the egg implanted in me? That I'm fine? Suppose there are no cure for the others. What then?
Do I watch my friends transform into sleazoids? Or do I kill them? Tunnel branches, psych. Left one leads to Lil. Right one, Cripes. We hit the jackpot. The Queen's down there. The Brood's great mother. We nail her. We cripple the whole outfit.
Leave her be, Wolverine. That isn't why we're here.
This is no time for your flaming namby-pamby rules, Summers. This is war.
X-Men don't kill Logan. Gentlemen, I suggest you postpone your discussion. We have company. Colossus, armor up.
The humans are to be taken alive and harmed as little as possible. I'll have the hearts of whoever disobeys.
With a thought, the young Russian transforms his body from flesh and blood to organic steel, super strong, well, nigh invulnerable. And the fight begins.
It isn't the Brood style to hold back. Why are they doing it? What makes us so valuable? The tactics give a tremendous advantage. If they'd hit us with their usual ferocity, sheer weight of numbers would have overwhelmed us. My blaster won't do much good here. You guys hold the fort. I'll spring the Landra.
Colossus looks really weird in that green outfit.
He did, definitely does. Gotta get him back in the proletariat outfit.
Psych, back me up. The three of us can punch our way through to the Queen's chamber.
I told you, forget about her.
Not hardly, bub.
Wolverine, we have to stay together.
You want me, pal? You follow me.
That's a good panel.
Yeah.
Good day, Mama. Remember me?
Butcher, I sense no life within you. The implant is no more.
Yep. Crying shame, ain't it? Hold that pose, sleazy. I'll do the same for you.
Wolverine, stop! By the White Wolf!
Save your breath, Petey. I'm not listening.
These creatures, they're not Willander's race. My vision, my mind are clearing. In time to see how critical our situation truly is. I'm glad Kitty is not here. I feel this may prove to be the X-Men's last stand. Cyclops, here come reinforcements! With their weird guns.
That's Carol.
Yeah. Landra.
Are you reading? You're reading Carol, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Leave them to us, Tovaresh. Nice shooting, Majesty.
The Shi'ar are warriors too, Carol, and our prowess conquered a galaxy. The Brood will rue the day they chose me for a foe, as will my renegade sister.
We have what we came for, Cyclops. I suggest a strategic withdrawal. You heard the lady troops.
No way, Buster. I don't leave a job before it's finished.
How about I carry you out, mister?
You're welcome to try.
Staying here could finish us all.
Now hold the fort. What the hell is Cyclops doing with that pinky in the air?
That's,
I mean, he's in a fight and he's like being a good little tea drinker, raising his pinky finger when he's sipping his tea. What is going on with that? Is that a mischaracterization or what? Like, this is a fight. You're not, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying out right now the action of lifting my glasses off to shoot my optic blasts.
Right.
I'm grabbing my glasses by the frame, not the arm. Because it's not, you don't, I don't know. That's just terrible. I'm sorry. It looks awful, him using that just his pinky in the air when he's doing that motion. That's not battle worthy. Anyway.
We're as good as dead already, thanks to the Queen. At least killing her balances the scales. Do what you like, psych. I'm staying.
I like
Elsewhere.
that middle panel where you get that nice image of Colossus there extending.
Yeah.
wrecking a brood,
He's like ripping one in half.
basically.
Yeah, it's a good lean back.
Mm-hmm.
It is good to fly once more, but there are rough edges to my powers that disturb me. I'm no longer in harmony with myself or this world. I am as high as I can go, my friends. The rest is up to you.
Take a deep breath, Cockrum. I apologize in advance for the rough ride.
We are still miles below the yacht. Teleporting that distance by himself could be a strain for Nightcrawler. Carrying Kitty, small though she is, may prove more than either of them can bear. If so, we are doomed. With his characteristic burst of smoke and flame, Nightcrawler disappears. A moment later, Goddess! A Brood patrol craft. I must keep it away from the yacht. I'll draw it after me into the lower atmosphere and then create wild weather patterns to blind its sensors. That should buy Kitty and Nightcrawler the time they need.
Made it. Barely. Don't understand. I was getting more used to carrying passengers. I couldn't maintain concentration. We are nearly trapped in transition. I have a firm grip on the hull. Now scoot inside, my girl, and for pity's sake, hurry. She has only minutes to reach the airlock and pull me inside before I freeze to death or suffocate.
Brr. It was frigid out there. Poor Nightcrawler. Even with that furry skin, the cold must be brutal. If only he could have teleported aboard. But he can only port to places he can see, or those he knows intimately. Darn, I wish I could phase more than just myself. I could have brought him in with me. There's the airlock.
Okay, great panel, by the way, with the tech stuff. Again, this is another example where, like, having these straight lines and create a really solid perspective helps us with the sense of scale and the setting. It's good.
For sure.
So she does later develop that ability to phase other people with her.
Right. I was going to say, that just like how he can teleport with somebody, she can phase with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty handy.
Halt, human!
Yee!
Yield or suffer the consequences.
A sleazoid. Aurora and Wolverine told me about these sleazoids, but I never imagined they'd be so horrible, these sleazoids. Watch it, sleazoid. He's good at those stingers.
My orders are to take you alive, X-Man. Therefore, my venom will merely stun you, but the effect, though transitory, is most unpleasant.
I can't waste time sparring with this creep. Nightcrawler needs me.
You are trapped, alien.
That's what he thinks. He must not have seen me phase through this hull. I still recall everything Professor X taught me with the Shi'ar. Their airlocks, specifically, are all based on a common design. The outer hatch won't open unless the inner one is closed, and vice versa. That's my next move. Once Kurt's okay, then we'll tackle this sleazoid. The controls are behind me. Shoot, the inner hatch is locked like we figured. It can't be opened from the outside. Oh no, I wasn't fast enough freeing the lock. The sleazoid's coming after me. Please, door, close in time, please.
Your game is amusing, child, but I weary of it.
I grow weary of it.
I weary of it. That's
Weary
now
of
how
it.
I talk.
Now what? Everything's set. If I cycle the airlock in phase, I should be able to hold on while the explosive decompression voids the sleazoid from the ship. But that'd be murder. I can't.
I really think you should do the murder. Stand away from the controls.
You go back the way we came or we're both dead.
You're bluffing.
Call me.
With pleasure. By the void! You've become intangible.
Surprise! I'll duck out of the corridor, then back in here after he follows me. But this is taking so much time. Nightcrawler's dying.
Kitty lunges for the inner hatch, phasing right through the guard. Enraged, she twists frantically in midair in a desperate, futile attempt to grab her. In the process, one of his flailing tentacles slaps the control panel. The lock cycles, thus absconding all responsibility from Kitty for the murder.
Demoted.
Absconding is not the right word. Admonishing? I don't know which word.
Relieving.
Yeah, I wanted something with an A. It's basically, it's not her fault anymore. But this goes to show you the cartooning couldn't illustrate it. Like, couldn't really show what happened. So it needs all the extra words, you know? Like, anyway. But that's a good panel with all the air going out.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. That sleazoid had got what it's coming to him.
Agreed. And he is gone.
I didn't want this. I didn't mean it. I know he probably deserved his fate, that he'd have killed me without hesitation, that Wolverine would say I did right. But I'm not Wolverine, and I don't want to become like him. Was it all for nothing? Kurt's like a block of ice, frozen to the marrow. Oh, Lord, hear my prayer. Let my friend live.
Meanwhile...
The ship should have been ours by now, Scotty. We should have been beamed up. Ha ha ha. Beam me up, Scotty.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
I know, Carol. Something must have gone wrong.
Murphy's Law, bub. Something always goes wrong.
Strike, Mammal, but know that my life is not as yours, nor is my death at your hands the true death. In the end, I shall triumph. Wolverine's reached the Queen. Logan, no.
You are a fool, Cyclops. This time Wolverine is in the right. We fight a war against the deadliest of enemies. There is no place here for chivalry or honor. Only death, life, defeat, victory.
My sentiments exactly, Lil. Bye, babe.
What in the flamin'?
The aliens are disappearing.
A transporter.
I don't know who says this. Ignition, liftoff.
At full thrust, the Zri Shar boosts out of the Sleazoid's atmosphere.
No,
That's a
Sleaze
narrator
World.
calling him that?
They call it Sleaze World. It's like Murder World, but Sleaze World.
Sleaze World's atmosphere. That's just mean. That's like the S word. I mean, come on. That's not nice. And away from its sun. Way to go, X-Men. We're home free, eh, Lilandra? Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's right.
Far from it, Cyclops. We're still too deep within the solar gravity well to shift into warp space. While we remain at sublight velocities, we are vulnerable.
Is your yacht armed?
Yes. We are no match for a true warcraft. Our best hope lies in speed and surprise. The name of your sex tape. But that surprise will not last. The distances involved are too great. We may have caught local planetary defenses off guard, but the outsystems units will be waiting for us. Cyclops, 10 more seconds. 5, bub. And I would have had her. If you'd helped me, Summers, we could have finished the Queen at the start. At least, then we'd have accomplished something.
Wolverine, why are you so angry? Why do you hate the Queen so? I'm glad you didn't kill her.
He faces... This is like the most important panel of the entire thing, and it's not even here. He faces his friends, his pain evident, mistaken by the X-Men for berserker rage, when in reality it is grief over what he alone knows and must now tell. He looks at each of them in turn and begins to speak when...
Our guns, open fire!
Who next?
I'll tell you.
Binary Star.
I'll tell you who said that too, by the way.
Who?
I'll show you.
Are you showing us?
Well, no, because you can only see the comic right now.
Oh, you want me to? I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, who?
You ready for this?
I'm ready for something.
Space Nazis.
Oh,
Baron Strucker, using the Satan Claw.
now we got to full screen that.
Yeah, we do.
Wow. So what is that? What do you got there?
It's a sketch card done by our friend Dave Pretorius, also at Red Eye Draws, who was on the show 3 weeks ago, three shows ago.
3 shows ago. It was 2 weeks ago.
The episode we did with Magneto and Professor X. So he did, and Baron Strucker. So he did this little sketch card for us.
That's gorgeous. And I
Isn't that
saw
awesome?
this. And that is, the gray tone is done actually through screen tone. He applied the adhesive like a Zipatone. It looks really, really great.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, you're a lucky man.
Space Nazis.
Yes.
Oh.
The Satan Claw.
Ah, the Satan Claw. You
There
are
you
so
go.
weak. You are all so weak.
I wanted
Cool.
to show you that too.
I like it. Love it.
Yeah, I was really happy to find that guy. It's such a great X-Men themed day for me.
Yeah.
With these finds. I'm so glad he comes with that claw.
The Satan Claw, yeah. I also find it really funny in the issue we read where, because it's made of various metals, Magneto just crushed it over his arm.
Oh, yeah. Look, I think I'm so never mind.
On my hand. Very funny.
Good issue.
Yeah.
You know, it like adds to the story. The X-Men are still in a bad situation, and they're in the middle of nowhere,
Right.
And they're all still impregnated with.
They
these...
still have the eggs, except for Wolverine. So you're like, what is happening here? Right?
Yeah.
There was no outcome there where they like suddenly, found the cure. So
True.
it's good.
Yeah, it was good. A few things there I liked, including this.
That's pretty good.
It's astonishing Wolverine. I mean, Cyclops. This thing is a little weird though.
Coming off his head.
It's like the power,
Yeah.
and it comes out, and there isn't a replacement. Like you can pop it.
Oh, but it's not just regular red?
Well, it's actually a huge. You won't be able to see it in this camera.
No.
I don't have like a good toy cam. I'm not toying around here. I'm not. Hey Kevin, how you doing? But there's like a gap now in this space where a person's face should be.
Oh, okay.
So it's all right to be like depowered, but when you're up close to it, there's a huge gap. So it feels weird to not have it in there. But I really do like this figure. I have the older version of the Astonishing Cyclops, and this is just, it kicks butt. Again, pinless.
Yeah.
A new sculpt completely, and really good looking dude. And this is my first modern Cyclops on this new body they've assigned for him. Yeah.
That's good, man.
Should I keep going?
Sure.
I haven't opened yet.
I wondered if there was an Emma.
Yeah, and this is my only Emma Frost, also known as the White Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So I was debating getting. Well, I was never debating getting this one. Guys, like I said, it was my only one, so it was going to be a no question that I would have picked this one up. But anyway, I just don't know how long it's gonna. If it has a place in my collection, like most of my figures don't come from that time period. They're like sort of 60s, 70s, and 80s characters. Once in a while, I go a little older. But anyway, and she comes with a chode leg. A chode leg that I might have to give to Jason Lowe. Jason Lowe needs the chode.
Needs chode legs.
Yeah. Anyway, here she is. Yeah, it was a good issue. I'm happy we read that one. Did you read ahead?
No, I never read ahead.
Yeah, I know you're a good guy that way.
I need to be surprised every week.
They're going back to having window packaging.
You mean like the bubbles?
Yeah, they're going back to the plastic windows. It was such a huge outcry from a lot of collectors
Really?
about it. And what does David say here? I see. He says, Emma's kind of a brick, and I'm drowning slowly. But she and Scott look so great together.
Off the coast. I'm heading nowhere. Oh, we get your references, Mr. Cutler.
The high heels things are always weird on these figures.
They are weird.
But in this particular figure, I actually think it's the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there she is. Mm.
Using her mind powers.
The face looks just like the John Cassidy art, though, I will say.
Yeah.
Just that sort of silver lipstick or whatever it is. It looks really apropos for that moment in time.
Looks good.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm happy to have at least one White Queen. And even though I know she's wearing like an X-Men outfit.
Hey, Summers, you can have Emma. Just leave Jeannie to me. Deliver to me.
David says, yeah, I'm not sure about Jason. Yeah, no one here is, man. No one's sure about me. But you're saying you're not sure if I got the reference. And I'm in another planet these days, so I have no idea what reference you guys are even talking about. What was it?
Ben Folds 5 songbook.
Oh, no. I'm my friend Graydon, who's been on the show, who we got to hang with a little bit this weekend. Graydon is a big fan of Ben Folds 5. And I remember only a couple songs, but I don't remember that particular reference.
Well,
what song was it?
Brick.
But then why is he saying Emma's kind of a brick? Is that the character in the song?
I don't know. Maybe he thinks she's kind of a brick. I think.
Are you referring to like her cape being kind of blocky? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know the reference to I don't know like the subtext in the song either. But it's a good figure, and like I was trying to say before, on my shelf of toys, like she'd be kind of with the villains still. So I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Even though she's in an X-Men costume. Give me my joke back. Nice.
Jason's getting testy.
David says, because she's unposable. Yeah. Right. Her arms don't really, there's not a lot of flexibility because the cape blocks her arms. The cape keeps her arms and legs from doing much. Gotcha. That makes sense. But it is a beautiful white piece of plastic. And again, kind of an essential member to have at some point in my X-Men collection.
Yeah.
She's a pretty important character there. Next week, issue 164, Binary Star. We're going to see a transformation for Carol Danvers. You know about this?
Tell me that Strucker isn't back.
Strucker, I do not think he'll be back. I don't think he comes back to this title for a very long time. But the action figure will be here forever.
Perfect.
I've wanted him for years and years to be part of my Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, geez. Well,
MCAF?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say also, we are 2.5 weeks into our crowdfunding campaign.
Of course.
New printing of Group of 7 and Most Secret Tale trade. And update, we are 76% towards our goal. So thank you for everybody who've contributed, including our friends in the chat, both Jason and Dave. Thanks so much for being there for us. Appreciate it. And so we're well on our way to hitting our target. And so, hit that target and we'll get those books into print, get them out to the people because the people want them. We got other things as part of that crowdfunder too. Jason's got a whole collection of comics there. You can get our print comics, our digital comics. There's a few ink sketches remaining by the one and only Jason Lapidus, as well as some other goodies. So that's happening right now. That runs until the end of May. You wanted to say, where are you going to be the end of May?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to be in Montreal. I'm going to be at the Montreal Comic Arts Festival, or the Festival Bande Dessinée au Montréal. I'm looking forward to that. It's, I think, May 27th, 28th, and 29th in beautiful Montreal, up on the Mount Royal Plateau. And a beautiful part of town. If the weather is good or bad, it's happening. And the weather is going to be good. You have a Chris Sanagan guarantee. And
Guarantee.
yeah, you should. Lots of great cartoonists are going to be there, both francophone and anglophone. Beautiful times to be had. Good food, good coffee, good people. I can't wait to go to Montreal.
Find our stuff there in Montreal.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And I am so tired.
It was a late one tonight. It was a late one.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We made it happen. We wanted to watch the Leafs. It was all good.
We did.
All good.
We did.
And I will also say shout out to our new subscriber, Daniel Scott. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Hope you like the content.
Thank you, Daniel. So, as usual, please hit like, hit subscribe to the channel. Feel free to share this with anyone else you think would be interested in such kind of content. And keep on commenting in the chat while we're live. And if not, you're watching the replay, throw a comment in the comments below. Share your thoughts about Sleazoids, about Marvel Legends,
about Ben Folds 5, whatever, never amen. Classic record? It's up there. I'd agree. Anyway, all to say.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a weird one. And just give me more Sleazoids. I want to see Wolverine just killing them all. All right. Have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you soon. Next time we'll see you back here. All right. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Go Leafs, go.